about affirmations and becoming not necessarily the change that you want, but be creating a belief system. One of the things that I realized as I was making my transformation is that I had lived in stinking thinking and horrible mindsets for 42 years of my life. And when I began to put in the work, I would have fooled myself, tricked myself, if I would have thought that I could have gotten rid of all of those horrible mindsets in just a few minutes or in just a few months. So today, what I'm going to challenge you to do is to think about all of those horrible thinking mindsets that you have and everything that we've been learning over the day from the different speakers, and they've really been pouring into us. But now that you have a gauge of where you want to go, as Lisa B said, becoming the change that you desire, as you have started busting through those limiting beliefs, then now you have to deal with the reality that you've created patterns in your life and you've created core values that have to be addressed. And so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to dig deep into that today. If you know what I'm talking about, I need you to give me some comments. I'm looking at them as they coming in, and I like to get a lot of feedback. Most of all, I need you to share this with everyone. All right, so let's go in, let's dig in, and let's go deeper. All right, so what is an affirmation? An affirmation is basically the assertion that something exists or is true. The assertion that something exists or is true. Now, the reality of affirmations is that your current being may not even represent where you want to go. When you talk about becoming the change that you desire, that means that you desire a place that you're not yet at. And so in order to do that, you have to feed yourself with the assertion of where you want to be and not what your current representation looks like. So let me show you how that was demonstrated in my life. My mother, she's been on the call. I think she's still on in the conference today. Thank you for joining the conference. It really, I am honored in this moment that my family took the time out and joined us in this conference today and have been playing all out, engaged completely. So I want to acknowledge them and say thank you, because people do not have to support. I want to acknowledge everyone. But back to my story. My mom was a single parent mother who was raising three big young men. And she worked hard. She had an enormous work ethic. But even in her work ethic and even how hard that she was working, there were times where she could not make ends meet. There were times where she could not get to the place that she provide for her three boys, because no matter how much she worked, it just seemed like things wasn't coming together. And the truth be told, this is not a new story. There's a lot of us that have experienced that or been relevant into situations or places where that happened. And so I literally remember days as a teenager where I would be walking, or where I would come home and the water was off. And we had an uncle. My uncle lived down the street a few blocks down. She would send us down to my uncle's house to fill up 5-gallon buckets of water to ensure that we had something in the house to do basic necessities. So I was a teenager, young, still developing, and I can vividly remember carrying 5-gallon buckets of water down the street, blocks. Strained. And this was in the summer. So imagine sweat running down my face. This young, bulky, thick kid walking down the street with 5-gallon buckets of water, straining. And the metal and the white bar digging into the crevices of my hand, water splashing on my legs and the dampness of it, and just trying to get to the house because we needed water in the house. I remember coming home from school at times and hitting the light switch, and there was no lights. The challenge, or the thing about it was, even in those moments, I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad. I still believe my mother was a superhero because she could make ways out of no ways. That was my reality. But what it put inside of me was this mindset that says, I just want to be better and I don't want to struggle. And so I live in a way that said, I just don't want to live from paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to struggle and not have lights on. I don't want to have come home and not have water. And so I dismissed being great. I dismissed being living in abundance, because all I wanted was to be better than the day I was before and not struggle. And so imagine, from childhood up to 40 years of my life, walking in this mindset that I just want to be better. So that eliminate promotions in jobs, that eliminate pursuing greatness. And you're talking about someone that has created and released a CD. You're looking at someone who has been a feature in a commercial. All of these things I could not acknowledge because I didn't want the fame. I didn't want the greatness. All I wanted to do was be better. And so I became satisfied with living in a box. I became satisfied with not living out the potential that was inside of me. I became satisfied with not pursuing the greatness that my Creator had developed and put in me since I was a child, before my mother and father even conceived me. And so I had to deal with those mindsets. And I call those lies. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to challenge yourself. What do you believe about you? What do you believe about your ability? So get your paper. I told you we were going to put in some work today, and we're going to put in some work. I want you on a piece of paper to literally write down 3 beliefs about who you are. It doesn't mean if it's accurate right now. I just want you to tell yourself, what are your beliefs right now? Because what you believe about yourself and what you believe about your ability influences if you're going to continue to walk in mediocrity or if you're going to live an empowered life. And once you write down those 3 beliefs about yourself, if you feel so inclined, if you feel so free, I want you to write one of those in the chat and then find someone and comment on them, on that chat. I want you, we're brothers, we're sisters, we're a community of transformers. And I want you to continue to work together and build each other up. So, Deshelle, that's right. It's okay to be better, but have a pursuit for greatness. And I thought that was perfect because I only believed, I thought I was doing good. No one could tell me I was doing anything wrong because I just wanted to get better. And this is the lie that I told myself, that if I keep getting better, that I would just fall into destiny. I would just lean over and somehow just get to purpose. Woo! I mean, it's mind-blowing to think and to consider that I could have been in this place of purpose. I could have been in this place of destiny a long time ago if I would have dealt with my mindset. So how did I get here? And to continue the story is, thank you. I see your comments. Yeah, listen, I see it, Patricia, right. I have something to say and I'm scared. Here's the lie that I told myself. I can relate. I used to tell myself, Patricia, that no one wants to hear my voice. That was a lie. I used to tell myself that my voice didn't matter. I even told myself that I was an introvert and that I was shy. That people didn't. I just didn't like to connect. I was an introvert. These were the lies that I told myself so much that they became my core values. And so a year and a half ago, maybe close to 2 years ago, I started developing myself and started getting coaching. As I was being trained to be a coach, I had to go through weekly coaching myself. So literally, when you're looking at me today, you're looking at somebody for over a year went through weekly coaching. That's why I believe in the power of coaching and what it can come from. And what we learned in this was a model called learn, be, do. Now walk with me. Arisha kind of gave a little bit of it, but she mixed it up a little bit. So it says that the learning that must take place is start of the journey. And then there's the do part, which is the action. Most people, when they're trying to shift their life, they immediately go to action. I want to lose weight. I want to do this. And that's the action. I would venture to say that the most important thing in the whole journey of transformation is not the action. It is the learning of who you are, what has been sabotaging your success, and how do you move past that. And so as I began to really invest in myself, I began to really transform my life. And I remember being in my kitchen and I was washing dishes. Now, this was a process of a number of different things. And I can relate to Lisa B saying, about if you want to do something, then magnify it. Because I remember having a dream laying in bed and a thought came to me, you're dreaming too small, because a lot of things was happening in a very short amount of time. I remember sitting washing dishes in my kitchen. And as I was washing dishes, I got a glimpse of some of the things that were happening, i.e. this conference and so many other different things. And as I was washing dishes, I began to cry. I broke down, man tears. I'm talking about big tears. And I have never experienced anxiety before, or what is it called when you're just overwhelmed with emotion? I remember grabbing the sink and holding it tight while these tears was running down my face. And in that moment, I was not moved by, listen to me carefully, I was not moved by the fact that I was going somewhere or that purpose was being fulfilled. In that moment, I did not feel worthy of what was about to happen in my life. Wow. And once I got myself together, I started reflecting on it. I got some coaching around it. And I was less concerned about where the unworthiness came from. I was more concerned about I could not take this into my destiny and into my future. I had purpose and I was living purpose. I understood purpose now, and I could not take this unworthiness. And when I began to explore, it showed up in every area of my life, this unworthiness. And it was all built around lies. And I like to call these lies Goliaths because they're not true, but we make them so big that they become, those of you that are familiar with the biblical story of David and Goliath, they become giants in our life. And they seem overwhelming, and they seem like they can't be conquered, and they seem that like we can't take them down. So one of the things that I had to do was I had to kill the lie. And how do you kill a lie? You strangle it, and then you feed it with truths, and you feed it with affirmations. Remember, affirmations are assertions about where you want something that is assertions that exist, something that exists or is true. It doesn't mean that it's true right at that moment. It doesn't mean that you're fulfilling that and right at that moment, but it means that you're going to get to it. That's something that you're going to. So at the moment, I didn't even have an affirmation for myself. And so I remember years ago hearing this poem in Aquila and the Bee. And it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about you shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in all of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give permission for others to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence, it liberates others. That was the first affirmation that I spoke to myself. Listen, there was times where I didn't even believe it as I was speaking it. But the power of affirmations is that the more you speak it, you create an echo zone around you, and it goes out your mouth and it creates an echo back into your ear. And eventually it's no longer something spoken, it is something that you believe. So now I walk in the truth of my voice matters. I am no longer intimidated or afraid to be my truest, authentic self, as Mother Oprah says. Because now I realize that purpose and destiny is inside of me. And all I have to do is walk it, because it's always been in me. It was just waiting for my mindset to shift in order to get there. So here's your next exercise. This is good to me. I'm enjoying this so much. If you're enjoying this, I need you to give me some heart, some fire, let me know. This is, I'm ready just to sit down and just bask in this moment right now. So listen, okay, so here's your next exercise. There is a movie called The Help. It was with Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer. There is an affirmation in it that was spoken. I want you, if you know what affirmation that I'm talking about, I want you to put it in the chat. Let's see who will be the first person that knows what I'm talking about. Again, it's from the movie The Help. It was, let me see. The movie The Help had Octavia Spencer and Viola Davis. There was an affirmation in it. Tell me what affirmation it was. Put it in the chat. I want to see who's going to be the first one that brings this up. I see you, the heart. Come on. Yes, destiny and power is inside of you. Yes. Let's see who got this confirmation. And we get messages. Everyone tuning in. Listen, you need to share this. Somebody needs to hear this over their life. Lisa, you are right. That is, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. I'm going to ask my engineer. There's a video. Does it work? Okay, I'm going to ask the engineer to pull it up, and we're going to share it. But before we get to that, I'm going to tell a quick story. So the reality of it was, I was walking affirmations before I knew the affirmations existed. So for example, when I'm an educator, and I work in education. My first year in the classroom, I came from a business background. I didn't come from education. And one thing that I knew about that was that there had to be some type of shifting in the way you think. And look, I am telling people about affirmations, and I didn't even believe affirmations about myself. So the first day that I was in class and the first day that I had my students, I taught them what I called was the success creed. I am success. Success is me. I will not allow anything nor anyone to stop me from reaching my destiny. I am success. I told my kids this every day, and what that really was an affirmation. And when they was acting up, when they were showing out in Mr. Morton's class, I said, listen, successful people don't act that way. I am success. When we went to the media center, anytime that I was giving directions, I was like a military sergeant. I want to hear the success creed. It was the first assignment that every student had to do. I was instilling in them affirmations, and I didn't even know affirmations myself and were not applying them in my life. It's the power of moving and thinking. So I'm going to ask my engineer to play the video of the help, and I'll go make some connections for
you. You is kind, you is smart, you is important, you is smart, you is kind, you is important. Oh, that's so good.
All right, so that's just a quick video. The reality of it was Viola Davis, who was the person that was responsible for taking care of the child, realized that she was experiencing some limiting beliefs about who she was, as well as she had a poor mother. And they were doing everything in life to tear the girl down. But Viola, in her infinite wisdom, knew that she had to feed this child something that would carry her for a lifetime. And even on the day that Viola Davis' character was fired, wrongly fired from the job that she loved, from taking care of someone else's child, she sat down before that little girl, understanding the challenges that she would face from day to day with her mother. She said, remember what I always told you. And she said, say it with me. You is smart, you is kind, you is important. And so she gave that girl an affirmation to combat everything that she was doing. This is powerful because you've had so much of life. We all have had so much of life that have crushed us, that has put us in boxes, that has limited our beliefs about who we were and about what we were capable of doing, that we got to have something that combats that, that fights that. David, when he was fighting Goliath, they said, do you want a sword? Do you want a spear? He said, no, what I want is these 5 smooth stones. What he was saying was, I need resources, and these are the resources that's going to help me kill this giant. And what I also have is a big man behind me. So let me break it down for my spiritual people. It says that faith without works is dead. You got to have faith, which is the mindset to go with the work that you're doing. And if you've been living 50 years, that means that you got a whole lot of work that you got to do on the other side to combat all of those 50 years of mindsets that you've been dealing with. So here's what I had to do. I leaned on Merriam-Webster's affirmation of her poem until I could create an affirmation for myself. Until my belief was so to the point that now I created my own affirmation that spoke to me and where I want to go, because I now believe that my voice mattered. I now believe what I was doing had a place. So one of the things that I created was, or affirmations is basically an idea, a belief, a truth. It may not be reality, but it is a truth. So in this moment, what I want you to do is, I want you to write down 3 truths about who you are. You said, Mark, Coach Mark, I don't know what you're talking about. So the truth is that I can live in abundance. I can be a millionaire. That's my truth. I don't know what your truth is. That's my truth. And so I want you to think of it in just a very narrow point of view. Let's do this exercise. It's called a vision exercise. So I want you to think about whoever you are. I see Deshelle, Otha, Shonda, Ryan. I want you to think about who will you be at the end of 2021. And I want you to think of not just who you are from the place that you are right now. I want you to think about it from the place of successful you. Imagine you walk into a coffee house on December 31st, 2021, and you look around and you find the person you've been looking for. I'm searching, I found the oh, there they are. When you sit down at the table, you're sitting with your future self, your successful self. What are 3 things that your successful self has at the end of 2021? You can be said, I am a manager on my job, or you have shifted your mindset and you now believe in who you are. I see you, you're a daughter of God, wiser, you're more compassionate, stronger. Those are the things that you desire to be. I see those comments, yes. So the first step into creating a belief set is right before those things, you put in I am. So it will look like this, Electra. I am wiser. I am more compassionate. I am stronger. And then you take those statements and you make it even micro level. So I am wiser than I've been in the last 20 years. My wisdom is exploding. If healthier, I'm a healthier me. I've lost 20 pounds. I've lost 30 pounds. Whatever your success is, I am a healthier me. I've lost 20 pounds. That's how you begin to craft and begin to shape your affirmation. And it keeps on developing until you have statements of truth. Not necessarily, again, where you are, but they are assertions about where you're going and not your current state. So here's what mine was looking. I had just completed my first certification in life coaching. I had started working with more clients. I had started really understanding what my purpose in life was. I had my mission statement. I knew that I was not only a wellness coach, but I am a transformation coach. I come to challenge you. I come to push you. I come to take you to from where you were to where you are. So everything about me is transformation, mind, body, soul. I begin to get clear. So when I wrote down my affirmation, it says this: I am a transformer. I'm transforming my mind. I'm transforming my body. I'm transforming my soul and spirit. The person that I am today is not the person that I will be tomorrow, next week, or next year. I am worthy of the person, the place, the position that my Creator has designed for me from the day that my mother and father conceived me. The work that I'm investing in myself is hard. It's challenging. It's stretching me, but it's rewarding. Those are the affirmations that I spoke over myself. And then the last part of my affirmation, I said, I make the commitment to myself to be better, do better, and to get better. And the reason why I wanted to point out I make a commitment to myself is because I always make commitments to other people, but didn't have the same level of commitment to myself. If you know what I'm talking about, I need you to drop something in the chat to say, yeah, that's me. You will show up for other people, but you won't show up for yourself. You will put in the work for other people, but when it comes down to giving that same level of commitment to yourself, oh, you find difficulty doing that. And so I had to make the commitment, come hell or high water, that I will always invest in myself. And so how do you craft that? You start by every day speaking that over your life. Every day, speaking it over your life till it becomes reality. So it's no longer just blank words. It's no longer ideas, but it's who you are, what you are, everything about you. Listen, the work that I put in myself is noticeable to everyone. And it's not that I'm trying to show it off. I'm just walking in purpose. You talking about, and I have a lot of family members and people that know me in the former. I was 65 pounds at the height of my weight, 65 pounds heavier. Today, I'm solid at a 205 weight when I got on the scale this morning. I'm going to work on that because I want to get back down to 200. But I was 205. You talking about at my highest weight, I was 270, 265. In the last year and a few months, I have dropped 45 pounds and maintained it. I have had drastic change, not only in my outer appearance, in my outer shell, but most of the change happened inside of me because I shifted my mindset. What's holding you back? What's keeping you from being your truest, authentic self? You're not what your creator designed for you. Listen, what if I told you that this world is a blank canvas, that your creator, we said that, God, our creator, Jehovah, whatever your beliefs, created this whole world and it's a masterpiece. To think that he shaped or she shaped the world, hung the stars, the moon, and everything works just so cohesively that you can go out on a nice sunny day and you can see how the birds fly and you can see how the leaves change in season. If they can do all that, then he's created a blank canvas and he says that you, not me, me for me, but you are the paintbrush and you're the paint full of colors, resources, all those things. And he says, it's at will. You can be whoever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You create the masterpiece that you want. And I don't care. I know some of you, I heard my mother say, I'm 65 years old. She's retired now, trying to figure her way out in this new season of her life. There's still life to live. There's still purpose, and you can shape that. I know this pandemic has challenged a lot of us and has stretched a lot of us, and we have so much uncertainty, but I'm more confident today than I was yesterday that I can shape my tomorrow better than what my yesterday was. Remember, the person that I am today is not the person that I will be tomorrow, next week, or next year. I speak that over myself until now it's my reality. So listen, so one of the things that I want to leave with you is I'm so passionate about this work. I'm so passionate about seeing people transform their lives and really walking in the purpose and the destiny that they're called to do. And I have people in my inbox every day wanting to work with me, wanting to get advice, wanting me to mentor. And everything that I've done in this season, I've done it for free. I put this conference together not chasing money. I did it for free because I'm so committed to my purpose and my mission, which is to build, encourage, and motivate transformation in myself and others. So there's a couple of things I want you to do. If you're listening to this live and you have not connected with it, if you didn't register to it, maybe you just fell into it today and you asked to. We had a lot of people that wanted to take part of it today and they just fell into the lives and so forth. I need you to go to CoachMarkMorton.com. CoachMarkMorton.com. It is a landing page and it'll allow you to leave your information in it, your name and your email. For every registered person in this conference, I'm going to give you my 5-step guide to clearing your energy and feeding your soul. That's my gift. For everyone that registered, we already have your contact information, so we're going to send it to you. If you did not register for this event, you need to go to my page, CoachMarkMorton.com, and you need to leave your information there. And we will send you this 5-step guide to clearing your energy and feeding your soul and spirit. The second thing that I want to tell you today is that you can find me on all social media outlets. That's how you probably most likely heard about this conference, either through my platform or through one of the speakers' platforms. You can find me at Coach Mark Morton page, even my personal page. You can connect with me. You can also connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I'm always dropping motivational videos. That's free. That's what I give. One of the things that I've been really clear about is what I need to do in this next season. There's no clarity. And one of the things is I always linger. I'm going to go back to that in another thing. But I always lingered in self-doubt. And when I did an exercise similar to what I walk you through today, and I looked at my future self and I asked my future self, what advice would you give me? He said, stop comparing yourself. And he said, stop playing small. So to fulfill my mission, I've developed a 4-week course. And this 4-week course is called Kill Goliath. This 4-week course is designed to challenge every lie that you've dealt and built around yourself. And this is, I'm not good enough. I can't make it. I'm not supposed to be rich, or I'm not supposed to live in abundance. All of the lies, we're gonna start with addressing the lies. What we did today is only a short part. I'm telling you, this is not going to get you to where you need to be. The second thing that we're going to do in this 4-week course is actually a group coaching session. Is we're going to become clear about what is truth. We got to identify the lies, and then we have to get the truth. What is our truth? The next week, we're going to go deep into affirmations and really craft an affirmation about ourselves and basically where we want to go. And this is a skill that you can take forever, because I personally believe as you transition in life, you also transition. You move from step to step, place to place. And when you transition, you need to change your mindset for the new place that you're in. So we build affirmations, and we go deep into taking those belief sets and building a custom affirmation that's simple, but also complex to meet your individual needs. And then the last week is we talk about and we develop a strategy to move into radical action. When I started comparing the prices for what other coaches and people in the industry was getting, what this 4-week course is worth is about $899. Today, and for the rest of the year, I am giving this, you will be, whoever signs up will be my first group coaching session for 2021 with this new course that I've created. I'm so passionate about it that I have to put a price on it. Because one of the things that I realized is until you make an investment, and until you put some skin into the game, it doesn't become real. I've been giving so many free coaching sessions out because I wanted to help people, and they didn't want to help themselves because they didn't have any skin in the game. So for This 4-week group coaching session is only for the low price of $99. I had to put a price to it. That's basically $25. We blow $25. We run through it. So what I'm going to do is, after this session, I'm going to drop a link for a calendar invite. You don't have to make a decision today, but you have to make a decision to meet with me for a conversation. And you can ask me anything. You can get more clarity about it. But I'm going to put a calendar invite, and you sign up and say, for this free, just conversation with Coach Mark. And you can after the conversation, you can make a determination if this fits your need or not. I don't convince people to get the help that they need. You have to make the commitment for yourself. And I promise you, I know the power. You're looking at the epitome of someone that have used the same techniques that I'm going to be offering in these coaching sessions, these group coaching sessions, with the other people that will be taking part of it. And so if you've been in continuous cycles, if you've been on these ups and downs of weight loss and all these other things, emotional roller coasters in and out of bad relationships, you need to understand the lies behind it. You need to define your truth. So that's my offer for you today. Again, there's no commitment. I'm giving you free. I'm giving you my guide with you. I'm telling you how you can connect with an abundance of free resources, but I just have to put a price on what I'm offering. So that's it of that, because I don't want, and here's the tricky part about what I'm doing is your negative self-talk. I'm feeling the vibration right now. Someone in their mind, well, that's not for me. That's what I told myself so many times. And I talked myself out of so much that could have put me in the place because of stinky thinking and limiting beliefs. Yeah, that's not true. And so you're probably hearing that anytime that you have something that's going to challenge where you are, you're going to have that negative self-talk. So I'm more concerned that you deal with the self-talk and then move into some type of action. It may not be action with me, but you need to do some action because there's destiny, there's greatness inside of you. Yes, Patricia, there's greatness inside of you. Faith, there's greatness inside of you. Shonda, there's greatness inside of you. Diane, there's greatness inside of you. What you're living in, you haven't scratched the surface of the potential. None of us have. I'm just not talking about me. None of us have. And we have to put in the work to go beyond it. I don't care if you're 5, I don't care if you're 25, I don't care if you're 50, I don't care if you're at the end of it. There are amazing people. Look at Joe Biden. He's 80 plus years old. If he's not 80, he's close to it. And he just became the president of the United States. So there's no limit to age. Supreme Court, RBG, worked up to her deathbed. I'm not telling you to do that, but was sharp on her mindset because she understood her purpose and what she was doing because she lived in her purpose and destiny. All right. Woo! Yes.